What's up, guys? It's Vic the Ninja Closer. I'm here again with another awesome interview. Today's interview guest I've known my whole life. I think it's going to be an awesome interview. That guest name is me, Victor the Ninja Closer. I know, dumb setup, but a lot of people have been watching my videos and saying, wow, there's a lot of value here. I'm really enjoying watching everyone's progress, everyone coming in and their transition stories and how it works for them. But I want to know more about you. I want to know more about, what you have done to get you here to where you are, how you transitioned to sales. So I figured it was time for me to sit down and answer people's questions. So my good friends at the Undeniable Closer Mastermind sat down and wrote all their questions out for me, and I've got them here to answer for you. So let's just jump right in and see how I can give you a better picture of who I am and what I do. Question number 1, what did you do prior to your current role? Well, currently I'm head coach of the Undeniable Closer Mastermind. What I did before that, I did some sales jobs for different companies here and there, but more importantly, I've been a respiratory therapist for almost 10 years. I'm still a respiratory therapist. I still work 1 day a week at a children's hospital, and as I'm transitioning into sales, it's what I do. I still find it important to be a respiratory therapist and do that while I'm transitioning, but I think that sales is something that's going to lead me into a better place for my future, so that's where I want to focus my time and energy. Number 2 from Tracy, what is your background in sales? So along with being a respiratory therapist, I have also been working for a company called I'm a Ninja for the past seven and a half years. I've been working with some friends from college, and we've built a children's brand. We do books, t-shirts, we're working on stories and comics and coloring books and things like that. But I've helped position that on social media. We've been doing that for almost 7 years, as well as jobs as customer service and food service and retail. Did those when I was growing up as well. Number 3 from Natalie. How much can you attribute your mindset to your success? Mindset for me has been everything. Taking the time to think about how I'm going to operate and how I want to move and how I'm going to position myself mentally before I do any of it physically has really helped me become a better person, a better husband, better father, better salesperson, better friend, son, all of that. The way I think about things has altered the way that I act and the way that I react to things, which makes me more successful in my opinion. Number 4, how do I stay positive? Again, it's mindset. It's just knowing that there's always something else. There's no reason to dwell in this negative, because no matter if I failed, no matter if I do great, I still have to go do all of those things again, and I can alter that outcome by just the way that I think about it. Number 5, how do I keep from giving up? Giving up to me is an admission of complete and utter failure. And I don't believe in complete and utter failure. You mess things up, you may fail, but there's no such thing as completely being done with something because you're not good or because you messed up. So if with that mindset, there's no reason to give up. You always keep going because there's always something else. Number 6, what's your favorite part of the career you're in now? Just being able to help people. I love being able to reach other people and help them through their sales process and through their sales journey by giving them tips and advice and strategies to kind of build things and put things where they need to be. It's like a puzzle. If you have the pieces here, but you're missing the corner and you're missing that over there, just showing them where to find that and how to put that in there is awesome for me. Number 7, Number 7, here it is. If you could change one thing about your job, what would it be? I'd love to do it more. I'd love to do it more for more people. Just to be able to put as much as I can into this and be able to build something for more people. It'd be awesome. Number 8, how do you manage being a dad, work, and chasing your dreams while being a good husband? It's a good question. I think this is from Carlos. I think setting the right expectations, knowing that as a father, there are certain things that need to be met. I have certain duties that I cannot shrug, certain duties that I must meet in order for me to be a good father, in order for me to make sure that my kids have the best of everything. And with work, there's responsibilities in work that I need to complete while I'm at work to make sure that these things happen. Now, my kids don't bleed into work and my work doesn't bleed into my kids. I keep them separate. I have to. Now, being a husband, you have to relay those expectations and communicate those expectations, because I can't have these expectations for what I want my goals to be and what I want my journey to be and not communicate that with my wife. Because if I do, then I'm being selfish and I'm not being a good husband. I'm just being someone who's saying, this is what I'm doing and you need to follow suit, which doesn't ever work. Number 9. Is we on 9? Yeah, number 9. Where's 9? What is the hardest part about transitioning to your current role? Honestly, I found a company that I loved and that I could work with and that I could grow with. And so transitioning to that was not hard at all. It was just, all right, let's make it work. Let's figure it out. Being positive about it and not giving up on anything. I knew that if I was going to fail, then I could keep failing and keep failing and keep failing. And I found a company that would allow me to do that. I found someone to partner with that would allow me to do that. So I wouldn't say that it was hard at all. Number 11 from Tanner. Where did you get your start in high ticket and what was the top strategy you deployed to get to where you are now? So my first high ticket sales job was actually what we like to call a 10%er, a 10% entrepreneur. I was in charge of all lead gen. We were cold calling. It was no leads, no real testimonials, no process. I was the company. I was pushing sales. If I didn't make sales, which I didn't make any sales, the company didn't grow. So because of that, it gave me the wisdom and the experience to know that that's not what I wanted. So going forward, I found companies that had those things in place, had lead flow, had funnels, had processes in place so that I could learn, I could train, I can grow, and just company after company. And then I landed where I am now. 12 from Luke. What are my priorities and why? Number 1 priority is my family. Putting them in a place where they can be successful in the future and them not have to stress or worry about certain things gives me the best joy. So that's my number 1 priority. And then loving what I do, being happy. I can't say the word priority, but being happy with what I'm doing and loving that. I think that is also a big priority for me. 13 from Abdi. Why specifically sales, and how does your journey lead you there? And what are you building towards? For me, sales is the vehicle to be able to accomplish much more. Sales means to me that I can be stable and that I can provide my family with options on what they want to do instead of what they have to do. So my vehicle to get there is sales. That's my vehicle. My drive, what I'm putting to get towards that is the fact that I see that happening and I see that actually coming true. So me putting my family there is enough drive. It's all the drive I'll ever need. 14. Let's see. 14 from Juliana. How do I deal with imposter syndrome? For those who don't know what imposter syndrome is, it's when you get that feeling of, I don't belong here. I shouldn't be here. Everything that I've done, I don't deserve. I don't deserve to be where I'm at. I struggled with that a lot growing up as a kid. I felt like I was in a place where I didn't deserve to be around the people I was around. I didn't deserve the love that I had. I didn't deserve whatever. And it took a lot for me to work through that. A lot of talking to people, some therapy, some different situations where I just sat down and said, you know what? I earned this. I did the work to get here. And because of that, I deserve to be here. And so keeping that same mentality and attitude, imposter syndrome is going to happen to a lot of people. It's going to happen to all of us. But sitting down and actually taking an inventory and saying, no, I did the work to be here. I belong here. I have done everything that I need to do to get to where I need to be. And so there's no reason for me to feel this way. This is a negative feeling. Not everything that I feel is true. And that's how I kind of get through imposter syndrome. 15. Let's see. 15. All right, Yusra. How do you deal with stress? Stress for me, I'm the type of person to internalize it, think about it, dwell on it for a bit, and then just kind of get rid of it. I'm not the type of person to let it build up and build up and build up. I'll think about it. It'll stress me out for a bit, and then I'll talk myself through it. I'll work my way through it, and that's how I get rid of my stress. 16. Kristen, how the heck do you have the most beautiful family ever? I have no control over that. My family, they're gorgeous. My wife, my daughters, they're amazing. I love them. I'm so lucky. She also asked what my future goals are. I want to develop my current role, my current business that I'm in, and I want to get that to its peak performance. And then after that, leverage that to build something for myself, that I have some income coming in purely of my own, business of my own, so that I can, like I said, provide for my future, the legacy that I can leave. That's my future goals. 17. What is the biggest problem you see with new closers? I think the biggest problem with new closers is they don't know that they don't know what they don't know. Let's slow that down. They don't know that they don't know what they don't know. So to them, it's, okay, I'm brand new. I went through some program, I went through some training, and it should tell me I'm the best and I'm ready for anything and I'm willing to do anything and everything to make this work, and everyone should come lining up to hire me because I went through training. But they don't know networking. They don't know outreach. They don't have any strategy to actually go out and find an opportunity. They're waiting for opportunities to come to them. They're waiting for people to pounce on them because that's the idea that they have in their head, and they don't know any different. And it's not their fault. It's what they're being taught. They don't know any different. And because of that, they're put in these positions where they not only ruin their career, but they ruin the image of the industry. And so the company that I'm working with currently, the Undeniable Closer, we're focused on trying to eliminate that, trying to help the industry grow as a whole instead of just a few individuals. 18. What's the biggest problem with coaches and business owners that I see? A lot of coaches and business owners don't know when to hire someone. And a lot of times, inbound closing is a fad, right? Inbound closing is something that's new to the ear. It's catchy. It's like, ooh, I want to be an inbound closer. So a lot of people are jumping in. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of people coming into this space. So a lot of business owners are thinking, oh, I need one of those because it's helped another business, without realizing that, no, you need to grow your own business first. You need to have processes in place first. You need to have a system ready to have these people come in. And a lot of places that don't have those things struggle, and they blame it on the closer, and they say, oh yeah, well, they just couldn't sell. When in reality, it's you didn't have the processes in place for them to sell. You didn't have the business ready for someone else to come in and sell. 19. Let's see. All right. How did I end up in my role? Well, I ended up in the role that I'm in because I was valuable to valuable people. I got into this mastermind group, or I got into a high ticket closer group, and I noticed that the owner of the group, JD Daly, was posting a lot of valuable posts. He was engaging people, and I would engage with him. I would talk to him. I would build that relationship. One day he said, hey, I'm doing calls if anybody needs any help with anything. I snagged a spot. I started talking to him. We started talking together. He helped me with what I was trying to do, and I gave him some insight, and we just kind of built a relationship. After a period of time, we kept building that relationship, and he said to me, he's like, you know what? I'm building a mastermind group. I would love to have you in it. Come on in the mastermind group. We'll help each other. I came in the group. I learned from him, and I just grew. And grew so much that he said, you know what? I want this guy to work for me. I like what you're putting out there. I like the value that you're giving. I want you to work for me. So I went to work for him. And that role is not the role that I'm in now. I worked for him on his outbound team, just, sales team, the whole sales process, did that. And then there were holes that needed to be filled. So I stepped up and filled the hole. I would hit him up and say, hey, what can I do for you this week? Or how can I help improve this process? Or I noticed this. I think this can fix that. Do you mind if I step in and take that position? And more, I just kept filling the holes that were needed. And he put me in a position to be able to be head coach and to fill those holes permanently and to help fix these problems and help everybody else grow. And I love it. I wouldn't change it. 20, is JD wild as little Dicky? I think that came from Carlos as well. I think JD is very calm, actually. I don't think he's wild at all. I would probably say the same for little Dicky. I think that's all an act. But I think JD is probably one of the most level-headed, one of the most caring and devoted people that you're ever going to find in this industry. And I think that the product that he puts out and the people that he puts out because of that is proof of that. 21, why is it important to network before you're ready? So what networking is like the word indicates, it's building a net, right? It's crafting and weaving this net so when you cast it, you get the biggest amount of return. So if I spend 5 minutes building a net, it's probably only going to be about this big. So when I throw that net, I might catch a tadpole. I might catch some smaller fish. But if I spend a lot of time building a huge net, when I throw that net into the water where the fish are and I reel that net in, it's going to be pretty full of fish. And I'll be able to pick out what I need to throw back, what's not valuable to me, and then what is valuable to me that I can take home and feed my family with. It's the same thing with social media. It's the same thing with sales. You want to build that network to where it's so big that when you cast that net out to get something that's worth of value to you, that's a job, whether that's positioning, whether that's an opportunity, when you pull that net in, you'll find what you're looking for. And I think that's why networking is so important at every stage, whether you are brand new, day one, minute one, or you've been in this industry for 15, 20 years. I think networking is important at every level. 22, how hard was your transition to healthcare to full-time sales? Well, I'm not in full-time sales that people would say. I'm still in healthcare as well. I worked a couple healthcare jobs before I started sales, and now I only work one. It's all about balance and finding what works for you. Some people might need to just drop everything and jump right into sales. It might be what you need, but me having a wife and having kids and having people who rely on my income, rely on my stability, I needed to provide that stability and I needed to keep that and transition that slowly over time. And I'm loving the process and I'm loving doing that. So it's different for everyone, but when you find the process that works for you, it's not hard at all. It's fairly easy. 23, last question. Do I have any hobbies or interests outside of sales that influence the way that I sell? Yeah, of course. I am a people studier. I love to study people. I people watch frequently. I love sports. I love music. I love activity. I love being in and around people. I love being social. And that helps completely because if I can be social over the phone or be social in a call or on an interview, it only helps build my rapport and helps build my comfortability with the camera, build my comfortability with the phone, with the person who I'm on the other line talking to. So yeah, I think everything that I do outside of sales influences sales. I think everything that I've ever done has influenced the way that I sell. It's just having that connection to people, and that connection makes me a better communicator, which makes sales a little bit easier. So yeah, I think that's all the questions from everyone. I hope that was helpful for you. I hope you got some more insight and some more information into who I am and what I do and how I've come to this point in my life. I appreciate every one of you for watching my videos and for keeping my channel growing. I love the fact that I can come on and answer questions and talk to people outside of YouTube through YouTube because I've talked to them from YouTube, because they know me from here. If you guys have any more questions and would like to know more from me, I'll do another video soon, but email me. My email is in the description. Email me your questions and I'll put a video together and answer as many questions as I can. As always, like, subscribe. If you're following and you want to know more about the Undeniable Closer Mastermind or more about me or about sales in general, send me an email. My link to my Ninja Closer Facebook, to the UCM Facebook, they're all there in the description. So go ahead and jump in and we'll get talking and we'll get you the help you need. All right, guys. See ya.